Hello everyone, welcome to English Insights, a podcast from English Education Department, Universitas Muria Kudus. I'm Aisyah Ririn Perwikasih Utari, and today we have a very special guest joining us all the way from the Philippines. We're honored to welcome Dr. Gina Sylvia Gawat. Welcome, ma'am. A distinguished lecturer from Mariano Marcos State University, Philippines. And Dr. Gina is an expert in English as a second language acquisition, and today she'll be sharing insights from the Philippine model, a country known for its high English proficiency in Southeast Asia. We'll explore how the Philippines approaches English education and what lessons can we learn here in Indonesia. Dr. Gina, welcome to our podcast.
Thank you.
And we have prepared some questions related to our learning process for English. And the very first question that we want to ask is, how is English used in daily life in the Philippines?
Okay, so in the Philippines, technically, we have English as our second language. So, in the general sense, we use English a lot in our daily conversations. So, for example, in media and pop culture, so our printed and our broadcast media use English mainly as the language that is presented. Also in our television shows and in our magazine and even online content, because there are so many Filipinos right now who are engaged in content creation using the social media like Facebook, Instagram, and the like. Also, English is considered as a day-to-day word or a day-to-day language that they use. Like they code switch in English. They use their national language or their our local language, and then they use also English for that matter. In advertisements like the commercials in shampoos and soaps and everything are used in we use the English language for that. Also in our education, the medium of instruction now for our learners from kindergarten onwards is the Filipino, which is the national language, and English as our second language. So in the school, English is mainly used except for the subjects in Filipino, in mother tongue, and even in social studies. So those are the only exemptions. But for junior high school and senior high school, and even in the tertiary, we use mainly English in the delivery of the lessons. Our local language and our national language is only used as auxiliary or if they do not understand it. In our industries, businesses, when you go to banks, when you in the Philippines we have many call centers, and those are third-party centers wherein the main things are from abroad, and we really rely heavily on the fluency in English. Likewise, in the food that we eat, in the restaurants that we go, in the menus that we go to, they are not printed in Tagalog or Ilocano, they are printed in English. In our transportation, when you go to the airports, when you go to buses and terminals, and even in recreation, and most especially in everyday communication, it's as if English is already a part really of our everyday conversation.
Okay, ma'am. Since English is the second language in the Philippines, I'm sure that the children will learn English very early. When and how do Philippine children learn English? For example, they start to learn English in their family or at school.
Oh, thank you for that question. And that is really a very interesting question right now. You know why? Because some children learn English already when they were still in the womb. Why? Because their parents now try to let them really be acculturized with the English language. So the mother lets the child listen, and lets the child listen to music, English music, as early as the child is still in the womb. So when the child is already born, then the child has already some sort of understanding of the language or the phonemes or the language in English. And I can say that right now, many parents really let children watch on the television. That's why even if they're not yet studying, they are already learning English on their own. Like they watch YouTube and they watch cartoons which have the English language. So they really acquire the language very early. And for education, we, just like what I said a while back, that we are already using English as early as kindergarten, and they have English subjects from grade 1 until they go to grade 11 or grade 10, and then 11 and 12. So I think English now is really the medium of instruction in almost all our subject areas. So having said that, until the university level, English is really widely used.
Okay, so every child in the Philippines will learn English since they were in the womb already. It is interesting, ma'am. Actually, because children in the Philippines learn English very early, starting from their family. Is there any challenge that is faced by English teachers at school or at university to teach English for the students? In Indonesia, English is still a foreign language, and it is quite challenging for the teachers to teach English, and also for the students to learn English. Is there any such a kind of challenge for English teaching in the Philippines?
Yes, like any other language, the English language has no exemption. Even if we say that it is our second language, there are still instances wherein there comes challenges, especially so that not all families start letting their children use English at an early age. So probably those who could access the social media or access television, well and good for them. But there are also other localities which are far from the center, and they could not access the internet, they could not access television and all. Then that becomes a problem. Another one is the challenge related to the language influences. Like we have 3 languages: our local language, that is in Ilocano, our national language, that is in Filipino, and English as our international language. So there are actually 3 different language systems which are at play. So we cannot just avoid that there are some challenges because of the differences of the language patterns, like the sounding off of letter B as in boy, letter V as in violin. Sometimes, because in our dialect in Ilocano, there is no V, it's just a borrowed letter. So when you say violin, there are some students who say violin.
Violin.
Yes, and there are some students also will say, if you will let them say favor, they say pabor, because of the lack of those sounds in our language system. So I think that's the first thing, and that's the reason why there are grammar rules also that are mistaken. For example, I did not open, so they have the double past already there. So because that rule is not in our language, so I think that is something that is a challenge for us. So when they come to school already and you teach them, then you have to really undo their sounding off of letters or sounding off of vowels or consonants for that matter. Another one is the differences in pronunciation, like in Ilocano, we have hard vowel sounds like o, u, and English is just a fluid. It's really a fluid language. In Cebuano, they also have another one. So regional differences, regional language differences is another one. Another is the comprehension. There are results also wherein children are low in comprehension, because speaking the language is different. Understanding the language is also different. That's the reason why that will now become a problem. That is also a challenge wherein we do not just let them speak or parrot or imitate what they listen to, but they have to understand exactly what they're talking about. Another one is the socio-economic barriers. So there are children who were born with gadgets. There are children who were not born with gadgets. So that becomes a difference wherein there is limitation, and like limitation of books, limitation of videos that they watch, and the unavailability of connectivity in the internet, and the support of the family itself. If they do not want to, the parents do not want, especially in the pandemic, many children were hard up in reading because they were not brought to school. So if the parent does not know how to read in English, then that will become a problem. That became a problem wherein nobody taught them how to really read. So when they come to the school already, when the schools opened, then that became the problem. So I think those are some problems that we have when it comes to the challenges. So as a teacher, even in me as a college professor, it is really hard because some students could not really express themselves in English. So I challenge them, you will soon be teachers, English teachers. So you cannot teach what you do not have. That's why I really challenge them to practice speaking, practice, and let them read, because they love to watch, but they do not love to read still books anymore. So we still challenge them to go to the library, borrow a book, read, and then let them retell the story, so that it will help them to be more competent in their speaking in English.
Yes, okay, ma'am. So most of the challenges and problems that you have said, we also face it in Indonesia, ma'am. So we need to learn something from you, from the Filipino actually, especially from the education system. What kind of method that can be applied effectively to overcome the problems, ma'am?
Okay. So I think the first one is on the phonics instruction. As early as young as they are, it should be taught already in the preschool level, because the younger they are, the better is their adaptability or acceptance to sound systems. So we teach English to them, we teach the English sounds to them at a very young age. But the key there is the training of the teachers. Because even if you wanted to teach them, but the teachers are not trained on how to really say the sounds correctly, then that will become a problem. So yes, so there should be a training for the teachers, so that it will be because I think children are adaptable to language. That's one thing I can say. They can be multilingual, but the key there is the teaching.
Yes.
That matters very much. Another one is we have to teach them something close to home. So from them coming from their homes, we start from there. That's the reason why the mother tongue is still very important. So their mastery of their mother tongue, and then we now go to another language. That is very important. That's why communicative language teaching is a very good way of doing it, because they will be role playing, they will be using the context of what they have at home or what they have in school, not necessarily using what the Americans have or what the British have, but use the language in the context of the locality that they have. So that's another one. And another one is the content-based instruction, wherein we use the content in other subject areas in the teaching of English, so that there will be a seamless, just like what I'm wearing. It's a tapestry wherein there is a seamless connection or interrelatedness among the different subject areas. And another one is the differentiated instruction that we could have, so that the struggling readers that we have or struggling students will be given another set of activity, and those who are advanced already will be given another set of activity, so that all of them will be allowed to learn at their own pace, because those who are not readers yet will have a problem. They will be facing shyness because they feel that they do not yet know how to read. That's why that is also very good. And we have to make game-based activities for learners, because just like when I was still as a student or a pupil in the elementary, they teach us the rules of grammar. They let us memorize what is a noun, what is a verb, and it did not work for us. So we have to role play. We have to use the language in everyday life, so that we will be able to learn more in a free way. And the use of technology is also another one. So right now there are so many free applications that we could use. I guess that is one thing that we have to really use right now. And if the school has the funding, they could have their own learning system, so that they will be helped with that. And code switching may be hard and it may be a challenge, but that is one thing that we allow them to be strategically doing, just for clarification. If they cannot express themselves in English, and then the teacher will help them, we can say this in English. So in a way that it will still be positive for them. So I think those are things. In my classes, I teach my students to use always literature as the base. You do not teach grammar, English grammar in isolation. So they have to use the literature, give them stories to develop their reading skills, and you use that story to teach them the grammar part of the lesson. So I think that's one thing that works well when it comes to teaching, wherein you teach the grammar lesson using the literature, the poem, or the story that you taught that day. And I think the main thing is teachers. It's really something when teachers are capacitated to and have the competencies needed for teaching. So trainings for teachers is very important.
Yes, couldn't agree more, ma'am. So those are the things that teachers actually can do in the classroom. But when I ask some students in UMK, actually, when I ask them a question like this, how often do you speak English? I don't speak English if my lecturer does not ask me to.
So I think
something like that. They do not practice their speaking, then they have less motivation to improve their speaking ability, especially among the 4 skills. Perhaps the teaching speaking is the most challenging thing in Indonesia, ma'am, since the students do not practice to speak English very often. Even in a day, they can speak no English at all. And if in the classroom we can just instruct them to do some activities related to speaking. They have to be actively. They have to be active in speaking in the classroom, but outside the classroom, they will be passive again. Do you have any idea or method how to do such kind of exposure outside the classroom?
I give activities wherein they record themselves through videos, Flipgrid. There are applications wherein they give explanations in English, and that challenges them to really speak out, because my students are also quite shy in speaking, because they say we're afraid to make mistakes. I guess that is one thing that students are hard up to do. They don't want. They say even that they don't want to be judged when they speak. And I tell them, we are not English speakers. We are not native speakers in English. So it's okay. As long as you are trying your best, you can practice. You can be better if you practice. So I give them assignments. So I think giving assignments could do. And I always give them an entrance activity, just like what I did with the lecture yesterday, wherein I ask how they are, and they have to speak in English. I tell them, inside my class, even if you cough, you laugh in English. That's what I say to them. And I give them, after 5 minutes before the class is over, I give them key takeaways, wherein that is the exit point that I could do. Wherein they I will draw a name. So they have to be ready, because they will be called upon. Whoever will be called upon will share in English what they have learned. So I think maximizing their exposure inside the classroom is very important, because they have the idea. They know a lot of things, but it just so happens that they cannot really express themselves. But it's up to us as teachers to challenge them, to let them do something. I even ask them to make their own videos for phonemes, so that when they will be in the field already, they could use the same video, like A is for apple, apple, and then they make their own variation of that. So that is something that makes them be confident, because they say, "Ma'am, I am now able to speak correctly." So that is another one. And in my class, I invite foreign American speakers also. Like they are engaged in lecturing. So they lecture on one topic, so that they could also listen to American speakers, so that it will be something that makes them be encouraged to also listen and understand. And I let them join online courses, the MOOC, the Massive Open Online Course. I let them join those, because there are courses that I also facilitate. So I let them join that. And like teaching English for young learners, there is one, and English as a medium of instruction. So that boosts their confidence as they will finish the course. So I think those are things that we could do. So we teachers should take a step forward if we really also want our future teachers to learn really how to speak in English.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Those are very valuable insights that we can apply in the classroom, especially. All right, ma'am. So, English learning, or the Philippines is successful in using English as a second language. Is it possible for the country like us in Indonesia to have it as a second language also? And is there any suggestion or advice from you that we can use in Indonesia to make the local language, national language, and also the English be used in our daily life? I think it is a kind of big challenge for us. ma'am.
Yes. In my 2 days stay already in Indonesia, I can say that you teachers are very good also in English, in expressing yourselves in English. So I think we can start from there. So we can start from the training of the teachers, because the hardest part really is on how to train the teachers to teach young children, and we have to start in the young children. So capacitating the teacher in speaking, in using the in saying the sounds in English, in saying the words in English, is, I think, a big start when it comes to teaching, because the challenge there is the level 1 teachers before you go to the college level, because in the college level it is expected that all the students that you have there already will be English speakers.
For real.
Yes, yes. So we start teaching English early in a meaningful way, in a playful way, and in a fun way. So that's, I think, number 1. And strengthening teachers, I've said that already. And probably in our environment, or in our locality, I can see that there is the I am and all. But me, as a person who is not from here, I would not understand what that is. So probably there should be an English translation below, so that will be a start. Oh, so the child who will be reading, oh, so I am is chicken in English. So I think that will be because that's also one thing that we do in the Philippines. We put the local name, and then we put the English name, because we have so many visitors also, and there's also a below Chinese character, because there are also many visitors to come from China, or from the different parts of the globe.
Very great idea.
Yes.
Ma'am.
And you've got so many possibilities here, so you use technology for all of those things. And
Yes, ma'am.
I think what we're doing now is something that is really very good, because we have to get another perspective, like not just in the perspective of a person in Indonesia, but also a perspective coming from another country, so that we could really be helped. It does not mean that we have to give away our culture. Our culture will remain as is, but it is just to also enhance, and we have to put also our country to the globe. Yes, and there's no way of doing that than to also learn the international language, so that we could also participate in more engagements such as this.
All right, very insightful, ma'am. Thank you. And is there any advice that you can give to Indonesian students who want to improve their English, especially in speaking well?
Yes. The first one probably is exposure.
Exposure.
Yeah. So I think they're into Instagram, they're into playing in the Roblox and all. So they could communicate with people who are speakers in English. I was shocked that my son has Australian friends. Yeah, I did not know. And he said, "Mommy, don't you know I have a friend from Australia?" Oh, really? And when I listen to them, they speak in English. They communicate in English. So, choosing the right people, I might say, because there are also, they have to choose the right people in the international scene, wherein they could communicate with. As they play, they speak in English. So, they get to be trained on how to say whatever they want to say in English. Yes, because your students are quite shy in expressing themselves right now. So I think that's one thing. And they should practice speaking without fear. So they should not worry if their grammar is wrong, or if the way they speak or their intonation is wrong. We start somewhere, and that is something that we have to do. And we read widely. We should be wide readers. And right now, it's really hard to teach students to read books, the physical books. They do not want to read anymore. Oh, I have my tablet with me, and then they will just listen.
For real.
Yeah. So they should be in our subjects or in our courses. We have to also give them reading activities really that will engage. Let them be engaged in the text, because that's also a problem in the Philippines. They don't want to go to the libraries because it's easier to search in the net, right?
Yes.
But I think it's also something that books are still really important. Yes, I think that's something. And then they have to listen to podcasts. This one is a good thing also. And then they keep their journals. They write. Yeah. But when they write in English, so that they will put their thoughts, and as they keep on. So it's very important that even us teachers we could give them journals to do, to make their own writing, to engage with the text, share whatever they want to share, because that is also one thing. And we have to stay motivated. I think there's no better way than to let them really understand that that is a way to move forward. Yes, because we cannot push them if they do not want it. So that's why we have to really let them see the big picture, the worldwide picture, so that they will get to really embrace also how it is to learn another language, because the Indonesian language will still be their language. Our Ilocano language will be our language still. But we can learn another language, right? So I think those are things that we could really do for our students.
Couldn't agree more, ma'am. Because I ever give a survey to the students related to which one do you prefer, watching movies or reading books. Almost 100% will choose watching movie, because reading book is considered as a boring activity for them. But actually we have a kind of program, a book club, and every student who is interested in reading can join it. But they sometimes they come to the club and sometimes they are absent to the club, ma'am. We have many book collections for graded readers, and that is one of our effort to overcome this reading habit, ma'am, because in Indonesia it is still low for the interest in reading some printed books. Okay, Mam Gina, thank you so much for sharing your valuable insights and experiences with us today, especially how to learn English in the Philippines comparing to how to learn English in Indonesia. Hopefully we can apply the methods shared by you so that we can also reach the higher English proficiency just like in the Philippines. And also your perspective on English language acquisition, especially in teaching English for young learners in the Philippines, has given us so much to think and to learn from. And to our listeners, thank you for tuning into English Insights. We hope today's discussion has inspired you to your English learning journey. Don't forget to subscribe and share this episode with fellow English learners. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep exploring the world through English. This is Aisyah Ririn Perwikasih Utari from English Education Department of Universitas Muria Kudus. Goodbye.